Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your spoilers for WWE main event, also SmackDown Live. But as usual, happy birthday goes to Billy Gunn, real name Monty Sop, turned 53 years old on Tuesday. Legendary Bobby the Brain Heenan turned 72 years old, while former WWE star Tyler Rex turned 38. His real name, Gabe Tuft. He's a buddy of mine on Facebook. There's not a dark match main event listed on the Arena website for SmackDown taping. The recent dark matches have been Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt or AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship. All right, at Stephanie McMahon on Twitter says that if you want to see me attempt to cook with at Chef Simon, watch The Chew on ABC Network at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. McMahon Family Thanksgiving, hashtag Survivor Series. And I'll show you a picture of that as well. Promised from the Raw video, dark match main event from after Raw from Hartford, Connecticut, saw Seth Rollins take on Kevin Owens until Jericho interfered for the disqualification. They double-teamed Rollins until he fought back and tossed Jericho over the top. Rollins then blocked a pop-up powerbomb to hit pedigree on Owens to end the show. As noted also from Raw, Bill Goldberg took to Twitter after Raw and blamed the botched strikes to Rusev on ring rust. The only botches I was seeing is the Rusev punch to Goldberg. Clearly missed him. More like hit him on the shoulder. And Goldberg just sold it. As seen in this link, WWE edited the awkwardness out of the video on YouTube. Spirit Squad and Deonna Purrazzo were backstage for SmackDown tapings in New Jersey, but don't think Deonna Purrazzo was even used at all. According to PW Insider, no word yet on Deonna, who often works for NXT, will be appearing live. Also noted, WWE announced that Paul Heyman suffered a storyline injury from Goldberg's spear on Raw, that he was taken to a local hospital to be evaluated. They announced Tuesday that Heyman was released from the hospital with bruised ribs. Heyman tweeted the following on Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. At Heyman Hustle, Paul Heyman retweeted to a fan named Daza, "Dear at WWE and WWE Universe, enjoy milking this spear by Goldberg for all it's worth. At Brock Lesnar will address this issue like a hashtag beast." WWE has reversed course on two of their recent trademark filings. So with that, they probably will be releasing to talents, is my opinion. The company has abandoned their request for trademarks on Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. From recent matches, well, Tony Nese is the better wrestler, but wait and see. Filings were just reported yesterday as part of a batch of filings alongside Robert Roode, TJ Perkins, and others from NXT. Neither Nese or Gulak are currently signed to WWE deals. Well, there you go. According to PW Insider, TNA is scheduling more Impact TV tapings starting January 4th, 2017, and concluding on January 10th. So if that's correct, that's a whole week's worth of tapings, which could possibly be the end of the company. WrestleCon has announced that they're changing their live event schedule for WrestleMania 33 weekend due to WWE switching the days for NXT TakeOver and the Hall of Fame. The WrestleCon Super Show will now take place on Friday instead of Saturday night. Pro Wrestling Revolver will hold its show on Saturday afternoon, and Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, Best of Best event will now take place on Saturday evening, opposite to WWE NXT. which is also now in Orlando, Florida. As they announced, WrestleMania will be in Orlando. Despite the constant uncertainty surrounding the company's future, Impact is still moving forward with plans to tape TV in 2017. As previously reported, they currently have Impact episodes taped through early December and will tape a special episode of Total Nonstop Deletion from Matt Hardy's compound in North Carolina. TNA will tape that specific episode of Impact from Matt Hardy's compound in North Carolina on December 15th. Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that they also may tape a 2-hour Hardy family Christmas special from the compound to air on December 22nd. TNA may then finish the month with a year in review show on December 29th. Speaking of that TND, Total Nonstop Deletion episode, Matt has been trying or hyping the in-ring debut of his toddler son, Maxwell. And here's a clip of him trying to perform a leg drop. As you can hear Reby in the background say leg drop. And they kind of laughed at it. Davey Richards said next year is his last in the wrestling business. Richard took to Twitter to say 2017 will be his last year and offering a lengthy statement thanking people and talking about his reasons for wrestling. As you can hear next. Richards is the second TNA wrestling talent to say that he'll be done soon. Yesterday, Maria Kanellis said that she would be leaving the business soon. And following Richards' tweet, I will let you know what Maria said in her tweet. As Richard signed his deal in TNA in January 2014, Maria was just signed this year. At Richards Wesley, that's his Davey Richards' Twitter name. 2017 is the last year. Been incredible and wouldn't change a thing. Get at me for one last time. Any comments? You can email him at this link, wrichards83@gmail.com. Maria Kanellis isn't long for the world of professional wrestling. WWE alumni and TNA Knockout took to Twitter to comment vaguely on the ruling in Billy Corgan's lawsuit against TNA, as well as their own plans going forward. Kanellis, whose husband Mike Bennett took a shot at TNA, as I posted in my Monday Raw video, TNA following the ruling saying, "Welp, back to bad business as usual." Revealed on Twitter that she plans on leaving the industry and will use the bachelor's degree she went back to school to get, which she will be done with in May. She plans to continue on and get her master's degree. And here's what she said on Twitter, at Maria Kanellis. Any news doesn't ever tell the whole story. It'll be interesting next couple of months. What I know is I am leaving wrestling soon. I am not exactly sure when, but that's why I went back to school. I am done in May with my bachelor's degree, and then I'm on to my master's degree. Eventually, everyone must realize that the road never changes until you change roads. The Rock is getting attention for dressing as Pikachu on Halloween, as seen in the Instagram link. And it also posts on that link, Pikachu is baby Jasmine's favorite character. So for Halloween, me and at Lauren Hashian official decided the real life Pikachu was going to come to the house for a visit. What Pikachu didn't know was that Jazzy would start crying when he stopped dancing and demanded that he continue to shake his tail with a loud eh. So Pikachu danced over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. By the time I dropped my 197th Juju, the heat of the costume was kicking my butt. But hey, I'm keeping it PG, as he said, the A word on there. That's what daddies do. And the reason why I'm doing it, some kids watch my videos. Hashtag Happy Halloween. Hashtag Daddy blessed with that knuckle and buck stamina. Also, hashtag no limits when it comes to making them happy. As reported, NXT superstar Austin Aries is set to undergo surgery to repair a large orbital fracture. It will be out of action until the first quarter of 2017. And today's note that it was set up for Thursday. Aries suffered the injury taking a kick from NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura last Thursday in California at a live event. PW Insider reports that Aries will be undergoing surgery on Thursday this week. Cody Rhodes was in UK and Ireland last month for 2 Evening With events through Inside the Ropes. During the appearance, he shared the original plan for the 2013 Battleground pay-per-view, noting that was supposed to be War Games. What do you comment on that? Quote, my dad literally couldn't get in the ring. I can tell you everything Battleground was supposed to be. It was supposed to be War Games. That's why it was called Battleground. It was me and these other Fire guys versus the Shield. And it was going to be something different. Dustin, a.k.a. Goldust, went out there and had a good match and ended up being that special Rhodes versus Shields moment. My dad couldn't get in the ring. I was really worried about him, his knees. He hated coming back, and an old man hated it. He wanted to, like my mother. She asked my dad a few years before he passed because he was getting sick. She asked, what can she do for him? He just said, make me young again. That's what he wanted to be. He hated old wrestlers. He loved Ric Flair to death. But when he would see Rick on TV, he would just shake his head. He would go to those conventions where they get him out to do them, he just couldn't believe what he was seeing because he wanted people to remember him for him. I assured him that they were going to love him. He was Dusty Rhodes, and you won't have to get in the ring or do anything. The only thing he could do, he would say, maybe, of course, if you watch it back, he takes his belt off and is taking a really long time with it. Dean Ambrose is just flawless in how he was dealing with it. But we just had a good match, but because of what he did on the outside and does the elbow, when you have people stand up and it's not the finish, that's as real as anything. I don't give a damn what you say about wrestling. When he hit that elbow, it's like I was watching Legends of the Fall, and it was his last stand. That was all he wanted. He didn't want to come back to do the Goldust and Stardust thing. And I don't blame him for that because he felt so good about that moment at Battleground. He was so proud of that moment as a performer. I remember him and Vince McMahon had this nice embrace afterwards, and Vince told him that was one of the best matches he's ever seen. And these two rival competitors had this hug. What a great night. I love the old man so much. I just wasn't ready to lose him. Unquote. TNA broadcaster Josh Mathews, a.k.a. real name Josh Lomberger, has been hired to call Valor 38 MMA event. So, if he's done, when TNA is done, he's got a job with MMA. Announcing, but at least it's a job somewhere. And it takes place on Saturday in Nashville, Tennessee. I have been looking for the perfect situation to try hand at calling MMA, Matthews stated in a press release. I love the gender, the athleticism it takes to compete, as well as the passion of the athletes. I will do my best to provide the proper soundtrack. Unquote. Well, Matthews also spoke about David Kid Cash, who will be fighting on the card. David Kid Cash is someone I have known since I was 22 years old, and I was just starting my career as a pro wrestler. I competed against Cash in a series of matches around the country. I learned so much from him, and not only did he wrestle, but we traveled and trained together. David is a pit bull. While training and competing, it will be extremely exciting to call his fight, and I wish him the best of luck. Read the full press release at mymmanews.com. Matthews is listed as the current voice of TNA in the press release. The Valor 38 event will be broadcast on Flow Combat by Flow Sports, which has been in the news recently, becoming the new home for WWN/Evolve pay-per-view events. In an interview with MMA Fighting, David Cash said that he would like to knock CM Punk out. Cash last fought in 2008 with a decision loss at a regional event in Frankfort, Kentucky. He will return to the sport on Saturday in Tennessee against Lindsey Jones at Valor Fights 38. And here are the highlights. I'm wanting to fight CM Punk. Damn, he's the same weight that I am. How bad would I love to knock his ass out? Go back. Butt out. I never liked him. I known the guy for at least 15 years, probably, and he's been such an arrogant beehole. He was handed so much crap, he never earned a effing thing. On Punk's wrestling career, I lived it. I'm not like Punk, who before he was a wrestler, he was a video game enthusiast, trading cards and stuff like that, and then he gets into wrestling, knows the right people, and gets a push just because he knows somebody. On Punk's fight against Mickey Gall, I'm kind of amazed that he had the camp that he had for 2 years and went down that quick with no defense whatsoever. Ring of Honor TV spoilers for the next 3 episodes. Posted by Ryan Clark. Credit goes to PW Insider. Episode 1. Team CMLL defeated The Addiction and Kamatachi. Keith Lee and Shane Taylor defeated Colt Cabana and Dalton Castle. Bobby Fish defeated Hangman Page by submission to retain the Ring of Honor TV title. Deonna Purrazzo, who's now with WWE NXT, defeated Candice LeRae. Episode 2. Kyle O'Reilly defeated Silas Young. Dalton Castle and Colt Cabana defeated Preston Quinn and Ken Dixon. Cabana turned on Castle after the match. Kennedy Brink and Veda Scott defeated Faye Jackson and Sumi Siaki with Solo Darling in their corner. Leo Rush defeated Jonathan Gresham, formerly of WWE. The Briscoes defeated The Addiction. And your main event for episode 2. In episode 3, Manny Leon over Jessica Havoc. The Kingdom defeated Team CMLL, and Kelly Klein defeated ODB, who is now in Ring of Honor. Sho Tanaka and Yohei Tamatsu over Cheeseburger and Will Ferreira with Joey Daddy-Go in the corner. Donovan Dijak and Prince Nana defeated Joey Daddy-Go with Feast Your Eyes. War Machine fought BJ Whitmer in Punishment Martinez with Kevin Sullivan to a no contest. I wonder if that's the Test Master. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Leo Rush, and Jay White defeated the Briscoes, late Jay Lethal and Silas Young. With Final Battle upon us, Ring of Honor is set to go on sale for major events in 2017. On January 4th, 2017, Ring of Honor returns to Atlanta, Georgia, and set a stage for the first Ring of Honor national TV tapings of the year. On March 10th, 2017, and March 11th, 2017, they return to the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, for the 15th anniversary pay-per-view and TV tapings. Both of the shows go on sale Wednesday, November 2nd at 10 a.m. for ringside members and Friday, November 4th at 10 a.m. for the public. Visit ROHWrestling.com for more info. Ringside members can find their pre-sale code under the live tab on ROHWrestling.com. Don't miss out on the first chance to get great seats to these huge events before they sell out. Ring of Honor is sticking with the Friday night pay-per-views with the 15th anniversary event following on Friday night. The Vegas setting in Samtown was solid, and Center Stage was a venue that WCW used for TV. ACH is finishing up with Ring of Honor. He is currently signed to an exclusive deal with the company, but will not be signing a new deal. They may work together on some pre-date appearances down the line, but ACH has been with the company since 2012. And it was back in mid-October. It was reported ACH had some heat with Ring of Honor's talent roster over a promo he cut at an AAW show, showing his frustration with the company. Many felt that ACH was being disrespectful, and Ring of Honor management met with him at the next set of Ring of Honor events. But at the time, no news came out of that meeting. ACH has been working for Noah and New Japan Pro Wrestling through Ring of Honor's relationship with New Japan. No word at the time of how it will affect his future dates in Japan. At Zack Ryder on Twitter, making digital history. First at WWE Superstar to do a live signing. And I'll show you a picture of that at Tops Slam. And it looks more like a tablet or you can go to Walmart and pick up one of those digital picture things and you put a little card in there, and there you got your pictures. That's what it looks like. Main event spoilers. Report number 1. Dark match before SmackDown in New Jersey saw Apollo Crews defeat Victor of the Ascension. And SmackDown Tag Team Champions Rhino and Heath Slater defeated Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Jack Swagger defeated Simon Gotch. Report number 2 says there wasn't no dark match, and all 3 matches were on tape for the main event. Jack Swagger defeated Simon Gotch. Tag Team Champions Rhino and Heath Slater defeated Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Apollo Crews defeated Victor. SmackDown opened up with a normal opening video. We're live from Newark, New Jersey with Mauro Ranallo, JBL, and David Otunga. Greg Hamilton introduced James Ellsworth. How'd he come to a pop? We see what happened last week with Ellsworth. He thanks SmackDown bosses Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon for allowing him to come out and say goodbye. A no chance starts. Ellsworth says he hasn't been able to eat or sleep and won't be able to move on in his life until he tells Dean Ambrose that he's truly sorry. Ellsworth asks Ambrose to come out to the ring so he can make it right. The music hits and out comes Ambrose. Ambrose says Ellsworth doesn't owe him an apology. Ambrose brought him to ringside. Ellsworth says he has 2 victories over WWE World Champion AJ Styles thanks to Ambrose, and Ellsworth repays Ambrose by costing him the title. Ellsworth says he came to SmackDown to fight, and last week wasn't his fight. He knows that now. He also knows that any man with 2 hands can make a mistake. Ambrose says everything is all right. It's water under the bridge, but Ellsworth has promised to never get in his way again. Ellsworth says if he could go back in time and fix that, he would. He would do that, but he can't go back in time. All he can do is look into Ambrose's eyes and tell him he's sorry. Music hit, and out comes AJ Styles. AJ comes out and tries to quiet the fans, chanting his name by telling them he knows who he is. AJ goes on about Ambrose and Ellsworth, saying Ellsworth owes him some of his merchandise checks and owes him for his whole career. Ambrose and Styles have words until Ellsworth gets in between them. AJ shoves Ellsworth into Ambrose and kicks Ambrose's legs out. AJ tosses Ellsworth to the floor and hits a phenomenal forearm on Ambrose. To end that segment, we can look back at Randy Orton, Kane, and the Wyatt family from last week. Orton versus Kane will face off in a no disqualification match tonight. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see Daniel Bryan is with Ellsworth and Ambrose backstage. Ellsworth won't stop apologizing. Bryan grants Ambrose another shot at Styles tonight and said if he wins, he will be the number 1 contender. Ambrose walks off and Bryan orders Ellsworth to stay away from ringside. No disqualification match. Kane versus Randy Orton. We go to the ring. Out comes Randy Orton to a pop. Kane is out next. Bell rings and Orton immediately goes to the floor. Kane follows but gets sent into the ring post. Orton grabs a chair, but Kane takes it and uses it on Orton's back. You get an ow chant from the crowd. Kane brings it back in, but Orton kicks him and beats him into the corner. Kane fights back and hits the sidewalk slam. Kane ready for a choke slam, but the lights go out. Wyatt family graphics flash. Lights come back on, and Bray Wyatt is with Luke Harper at ringside. Kane blocks an RKO from behind, but Harper and Wyatt pull him to the floor. Since it's a no DQ, so some type of interference is going to happen. He fights them both off and comes back to grab Orton by the throat. Harper and Wyatt hit the ring for the save, leading Orton into an RKO from Orton and gets a pinfall win. Right in front of Harper and Wyatt. Orton stared at Harper and Wyatt through the pin. After the bell, when his music hits, the music stopped and Kane got up. Harper dropped him with a big clothesline. Harper got in Orton's face and grabbed Kane again to push him into a Wyatt attack. Orton steps in front of Harper and pushes Kane into his sister Abigail from Wyatt. Wyatt and Harper pose over Kane's body while Orton hits the corner and does his pose at the same time. Orton pose. Wyatt yells to follow the buzzers, and that's it. Still to come segment, Daniel Bryan on Miz TV. We see Alexa Bliss and Carmella walking backstage, back to commercial. Back from the ring, we get Baron Corbin video package. Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella versus Carmella and Alexa Bliss was up next. We go to the ring and Carmella awaits with Alexa Bliss while Nikki Bella makes her way out. Her partner was out next, SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Bliss takes control of Nikki early on and taunts her. She tries to hit Becky on the apron but misses. Carmella and Becky both get involved. Nikki and Becky clear the ring and stand tall as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Becky unloads on Carmella. Bliss eventually comes back in, but Carmella distracts the referee and Becky from the apron. Becky goes after her, but Bliss comes in from behind and hits the DDT for the win. After the match, new SmackDown correspondent Joshua Fuentes from NXT tries to interview Bliss and Carmella in the ring, but they shoo her off. Take the microphone, they run down the Raw Superstar to hype Survivor Series match. Bliss also cuts a promo on Becky, saying she's coming for the title next week in Glasgow. Bryan and Shane were backstage with Naomi. They inform her that she's the next superstar to be added to the Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. She thanks them and leaves. Natalya comes in, still lobbying for her role on the team after losing last week. Bryan makes her the coach of the team instead, and she says she's going to whip them into shape. Actually, does a little hesitant thing. It's off the camera. Still to come, Ambrose vs. Styles in the main event. Ellsworth is banned from ringside. Back to commercial. Supposedly. Well, Survivor Series qualifying match, Spirit Squad versus American Alpha. The winners of this team is in your tag team version of representing SmackDown. Back from the break, Kenny is in the ring with Mikey. Spirit Squad start their routine, but American Alpha quickly interrupt. Chad Gable and Mikey start things off. Mikey took control of Gable and tags in Kenny, who misses a big leg drop from the top. Gable tags in Jason Jordan, who unloads on Kenny. Jordan launches Kenny across the ring with a suplex, but misses in the corner and gets a roll up for a 2 count. Spirit Squad double team Jordan, and then they miss. And Gable tags in. Jordan and Gable hit the double team on Mikey to qualify for the Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. Announcers led us to a promo for Bill Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Back from the break, Miz is in the ring with Maurice for another episode of Mystery TV. Miz TV. He said he's going to put the past behind him for tonight and be a journalist to get some Survivor Series answers. He introduces SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan. Out he comes to a pop. Don't forget, they had a conversation after a pay-per-view a couple months back. Bryan first announced that there will be 2 more tag team qualification matches for Survivor Series. Miz wants to know about the Miz team. Bryan announces Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose. And hesitates. Miz thinks it's going to be himself because Daniel Bryan is smiling at him. And then he announces AJ Styles for Team SmackDown. Miz isn't very happy. Bryan says Miz wasn't even considered. Miz accuses Bryan of coming out to humiliate him on the show in front of his wife. They have words and Bryan says he lied. Miz was considered, but they needed superstars that are willing to fight anytime, and Miz proved last week that he's afraid to fight. They argue some more until Miz says he wasn't scared to fight, but Bryan was, and puts Miz in between them. Bryan gets upset as Miz leaves the ring. Bryan tells Miz to join the commentary as Dolph Ziggler will be defending his WWE Intercontinental title in an open challenge match. Ziggler makes his way out as we go to commercial. Well, his opponent ends up to be Kurt Hawkins, his debut. Back from the break, Miz and Maurice are on commentary as Ziggler waits in the ring. Kurt Hawkins is out to answer the open challenge. He continues the gimmick of getting the city wrong and calls this Atlantic City. Hawkins cuts a promo and gets in Ziggler's face. As he turns around, the bell rings. Super kick. It's over with. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Ziggler raised the title as Miz looks on from commentary. Renee Young interviewed Ziggler in the ring. Ziggler issued a challenge on any Raw superstar from the Survivor Series pay-per-view and says he will put his title on the line. Miz pitches a fit at ringside as Ziggler's music hits. Because he said any Raw superstar. Like there was some backstage. Dasha Ventez backstage with Dean Ambrose, asking if he's confident going on into tonight's main event. Ambrose says Ellsworth cost him the match last night, but that was his fault for last night. The reporter said from last night, well, it was last week, for having at ringside. Ambrose says that won't happen tonight. Ellsworth appears and Ambrose asks him what's going on. Ellsworth asks if there's any way he can come to ringside tonight. Ambrose says no, he's not allowed at ringside tonight. Ellsworth begs him, but Ambrose still says no. In fact, stay tuned for more from that. We'll get a break. We'll see what happened with Orton and Kane earlier. We're backstage with Bray, Harper, and Orton. Wyatt says Orton wanting to join them has been met with some skepticism. Wyatt goes on and says Orton does have a place in the Wyatt family. Orton says he was born with the devil whispering in his ear. He's done trying to fight it. It's almost as if the darkness has shown him the light. Orton then says Bray is a god, as he's just staring on like he's mesmerized. Orton's eyes light up and flash like a light in his eyes. Flames in it, going on and off. And Wyatt then laughs. SmackDown qualifying match, Usos versus Headbangers, which I told you on Raw, well, that was there. This was their match. Back to the ring, Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher wait in the ring. Usos were out next. Usos attack before the bell and keeps control once the match is on the way. They don't double team and nail the Samoan drop on Thrasher. Jey Uso keeps control of Thrasher now. Jimmy Uso tags in and as does Mosh. Mosh gets a close 2 count. Thrasher sends Jey to the floor. Jey nails a cheap shot from the floor while the referee was distracted with Mosh allowing Thrasher to get rolled up by Jimmy for the pin. Dasha approached AJ backstage. He just wants to make it to the ring without being asked a dumb question. AJ mocks Dasha and says he's going to beat Ambrose again, and this time his buddy Ellsworth won't be there as an excuse. AJ says Ellsworth has to call back in his bargain bin, and as AJ walks off. Ambrose is backstage talking to Ellsworth about how they will still keep in touch, but he can't have him in the way at ringside. Ambrose leads Ellsworth out of the building, out of an exit door. Walked off as the ring goes as we go to commercial. Well, they can do just like the video games. I got my ticket and sat at ringside. Well, just wait and see what happens. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. We go to the ring. Out comes Ambrose and the world champion AJ Styles for this non-title main event. And if Ambrose wins, he becomes the number one contender. James Ellsworth is banned from ringside, supposedly. Back to commercial. Back to the break. And the match is underway. After a dive, Ambrose balls AJ around ringside and brings him back in for a 2 count. Ambrose keeps control but gets rolled up for a 2 count. Ambrose will roll up again for a 2 count. More pin attempts by Ambrose. Ambrose gets a clover leaf submission in. The hold is broken as Ambrose takes AJ to the top. Ambrose with a super butterfly suplex. Even the announcer said butterfly. More like a chicken wing suplex. And releases it while he's in midair. Ambrose with nails some strikes. AJ gets a counter out of nowhere and gets a calf crusher applied. It's broken as Ambrose goes to the floor for a breather. AJ follows but gets crushed on the top of the barrier. Ambrose runs the ringside area. He goes to one side of the barricade and comes up and nails AJ with a forearm, knocking him from the barrier. AJ brings it back in for a 2 count. Ambrose brings it in for a 2 count. Ambrose keeps control but sells a knee injury after AJ counters a blockbuster as we go to commercial. Back from the break, AJ goes to springboard in, but Ambrose kicks it and he falls to the floor. Ambrose goes to the top, nailing a big elbow drop on AJ to the floor. More like a forearm. back in the ring with more action. Dirty Deeds is blocked. They run the ropes and Ambrose nails the big clothesline. AJ goes for another calf crusher, but it's blocked. AJ launches Ambrose into the turnbuckles with a suplex. AJ leaps at Ambrose, but gets caught. He's selling the leg injury because he hit the turnbuckle. Padded turnbuckle. More counters. Ambrose slams AJ face first. The covers for a 2 count. AJ then nails Ambrose in the throat and delivers more strikes. Ambrose counters the Styles Clash, but they collide with double clotheslining each other down. James Ellsworth makes his way down the ringside and starts beating on the apron to cheer Ambrose on. Ambrose gets distracted, telling Ellsworth to leave. Ambrose turns around to a payday kick from AJ for a 2 count. Ellsworth looks concerned now. Security runs down and chases Ellsworth through the crowd. AJ watches them, and Ambrose rolls him up for a 2 count from behind. More counters. AJ blocks Dirty Deeds and applies a calf crusher. Ambrose makes it to the bottom rope. Ellsworth and security make it back around the arena, back at the ringside area. Ellsworth tries to get in the ring, but they stop him. AJ watches and comes out to shove Ellsworth over the announcer's table. AJ goes back into springboard, but Ambrose blocks it and nails Dirty Deeds for the win. And as you can see, there's that action right here, WWE, twitter.com backslash WWE. Winner number 1 contender, Dean Ambrose. After the match, Ellsworth is dragged away by security and he's dazed but smiling. Ambrose looks on as we go to replays. He's on the stage. Ambrose slips out of the ring, selling the injury at first. When he gets up to the top of the stage, and then he's no-selling it. Where security has Ellsworth, Ambrose shrugs and helps Ellsworth stand up for a second before letting him fall. He's like, hook him, and lets him go. SmackDown goes off the air with smiling Ellsworth being taken away to the back. After SmackDown went off the air, dark match. Dolph Ziggler faced Miz with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Ziggler won and retained his title. Nothing more than that. That's all I can find. Thanks again. Peace out. See what we want to be. If you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters. Well, I'm not going to end it right there. I'll give a couple of impersonations for my Empower fans. And yes, you can go to Empower. That's EMPOWR.com/Tommy Kerr. You can make some money. I've made $1,400 and more. And they say you can early cash out when you get to the basic green level. I can now cash out at $400. Normal cash out, you have to wait 3 months, 90 days. But there you go. Okay, here's for the impersonation. Ooh, yeah, brother, dig it. That's one. Who was that? Tell me. Let's see. Let's go with Hulk Hogan. Brother. Let's go with any others. Just comment on my videos if you want any other impersonations. Thanks again. Peace out. See what I want to be. You don't know? Just comment, brothers and sisters.